Yeah, we are in business. It's recording. Wow, it's been a while.
Ready whenever you are, man.
All right. So, you say you've got the recording ready, or?
Yeah, I just trimmed it, and I had to email it to myself. I had to do some wizardry to get it to not corrupt when I tried to transfer it from my phone to my computer.
Gotcha.
Apparently, computers don't like MP3 format. They like MP4 now. I don't know. I'm out of
I have one last thing to do, man. I'm sorry. I just gotta toss a lizard. I have a little bit of food here. I got it all out, and he's
Oh no, take your time. Take your time.
He's going, dude, you got it out. What's up?
Yep.
Don't blue ball me, buddy.
Give me some food. I used to have a pet snake when I was a kid, so I know how that is.
Dude,
The moment they smell it or see it, they're on it.
Yeah, they have these guys have the face of a velociraptor after Jurassic Park, and so they look at you just like that, man. It is exactly the same. It's creepy.
That's kind of eerie, yeah, I would say.
It's badass, because especially like when I don't know, they're just expressive somehow. Like one time I'll pour water into the enclosure, because, I have like 3-4 inches of material, and then I have this whole complex of big old mound of dirt that he dug his own, burrow out of.
Yep.
So what I'll do is, to keep it humid, I'll just dump water in there. The aquarium's designed to hold like 3 inches of water, so I'll just dump an inch in there. Well, it like flooded out the first time I did it, it flooded out his burrow. So he came out of there all covered in wet dirt, looking all kinds of pissed off at me. I guess you had to see it, man. It was fun.
Oh yeah, they definitely got one.
Here you go, buddy. There you go. I've only had him for like 3 months, and he is not tame to me yet. And he's still a baby. He's only like 6 months old. So anyway, all right, I'm done with him. He'll do his thing. It's so badass. God, I love them, man. Anyway.
Reptiles are pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, so I'm just here to answer questions. I don't have any agenda. I'm not trying to steer you a certain way. I don't care how. I don't mind how people handle their own cases in their own best interest. I have no standard to meet. I have nothing going on like that. I know.
I know.
Talked before. I was making sure you're familiar with kind of the setup. There's no pressure whatsoever in any direction to any degree.
Oh yeah, I absolutely understand. Like I said, I've been following you since you had all that shit down in Texas and Leon Valley, and I've listened to pretty much most of your content, so I know how you operate and how you get down and all that. So, like I said, I'm a long-time viewer, first-time caller.
Okay, so what questions do you have? And I might learn something here too myself, obviously. So.
Oh well, to give you the rundown. I live in Indiana.
Just don't say anything. Just pretend Daddy Government is here and listening.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
And
go ahead.
I had a court case in a different county, and this county is known for being absolutely corrupt to the core, from the sheriff's department to the you know how it runs, from the sheriff's department, police department, all the way to the court system. Like the judge I had, he was an old officer of the city and all that other shit. So it's like it's a good old boys club. Same shit you just went through.
Yeah,
good old boys club.
Everywhere in America, outside of major cities, it's pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know of a place where people are like, oh no, they're pretty decent in this one state. It's a little bit different. I've never heard anybody say that ever.
Absolutely not. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Statistically. Well, anyway,
yeah.
I guess you read how everything went down. I had my first 2 clarifications. He agreed with them, said yes, and then I got to that third one, and he said that innocence is a matter of a criminal trial and not a civil trial.
Yeah, little question I had just as a background to help me understand the situation. So
Yes.
this is a civil issue, or I don't even know what kind of a thing.
So this was a seatbelt ticket.
He called a seatbelt ticket a civil matter. Okay.
In Indiana, it's a civil dispute between the state of Indiana and me, is what it was.
Okay, they can frame it how they want. Okay.
Yeah, so I got to that clarification. He agreed that, I have the right to be informed of the cause and natures of the accusations and proceedings brought here against me. He said, yeah, you do, and, that's that's what your ticket and the court case and all that other shit is about and whatnot. And then I asked him if I was, presumed innocent, and then he kind of just went unhinged from there. And basically he said, he told me, he's like, I segued back and I said, so about my fair and meaningful hearing you're supposed to give me, I said, I can't continue without clarification, more or less, is what I told him.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I'll give you a fair and meaningful hearing. I need to hear your side of the story in order for that to happen. And I said, oh, so you're going to railroad me. And that's what I told him. And the way the bench trial was is like, you're literally right there in front of the judge, like
that's
2 feet away from him.
That's how they do it now.
Yeah, the officer was standing next to me. The prosecutor was
the
there.
room is right there next to you. And
Yep, and there was
the public have a hard time hearing anything that's said. Nobody can learn.
And there was probably 4 or 5 other officers in this. So it's a traffic court, obviously, and they all showed up because they know the judge is going to rule in their favor unless the person does what they want them to.
Everyone knows the outcome. This is only for show to convince the people who we're stealing from not to get their feathers in a ruffle. Hey, they lost fair and square. That's all it is.
Right.
Yeah.
He just went on about that and said the only way I could have a fair trial is if I told my side of the story of the incident that happened. And
so let's
that's when I told him.
Because it's not that I want to interrupt your story. I don't.
No, you're fine.
I do want to hear it, but
that was pretty much it.
Oh, that's pretty much it. Okay, great. Well, let's.
Yeah, because after that, he said all that I'll hold you in contempt of court, and I said, I just sat there and stood in silence. I was like, do I push this further and say, I'm here under duress, are you threatening me with jail if I continue to try to clarify to get my informed decision? Ultimately, I kind of caved and I just said, hey, am I free to leave?
Yeah. No, I hear you. I think this is look, you don't understand. I think that the simple act of even attempting this means you already won. Like, there's no, oh, I lost and I gave up and caved. No, the win is you're here. You know this information. You actually have the balls in the spine to do it. That is winning. That is the win. Even if you have to pay the fine and whatever, you won.
Right.
You won.
That's kind of how I took it when I left. Is like, look, I showed up and I was to prove my point to these fucks is that, I'm not scared of you. I'll show up and I'll argue. Or I'll clarify, however you want to put it. He said I was arguing, but I kept telling him, no, I'm clarifying.
Yeah.
I never used the word question. I never used the word argue. I simply said, I'm here to clarify.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's one thing I remember you harping on in one of those role plays was that you don't ask a question, you clarify. You never ask a question.
Yeah, what are we clarifying? We're clarifying their claims. The prosecutor's claims, and they admit that we have a right to be informed of their claims.
Right.
So
right. But then I don't have the right to be innocent of these allegations. It don't make sense.
Yeah, because they say you're presumed innocent, but then with nothing being noted, said, or made on the record, the whole environment switches, and you being presumed innocent is now flipped, and you are presumed subject to their jurisdictional claims. And they don't talk about this flip at all, right?
No.
It just happens. And how it's allowed on the record is people's silence looks like they're agreeing to it on paper. So, like, if historians go back, and if they did record it all in their transcripts, and they were to look at the transcripts, they would look, oh, this is all hunky-dory, this is fine. even everybody knows it's not. And you already know this, obviously, but that's kind of the nature of the beast. I want to go into things. I'll go into any direction you want to. If you don't have a direction, I do, because I heard things that you said that I very much want to sharpen up for the next time if you do it.
Yes, absolutely. Let's take your direction, because I'm kind of like, I'm just trying to take everything in, trying to figure out maybe what I stumbled upon,
Right.
you know, where I gave up on if I wasn't,
Right.
if I wasn't clear enough or didn't say things in a certain manner like they should have been. Because I'll admit, I practiced quite a bit just with myself. I didn't role play with nobody, and that kind of, I think, hindered me in a manner that I wasn't able to articulate the way I needed to.
Well, that's always
because
the
I was
biggest
just
challenge, is once you go off script, what do you say? That's always the biggest challenge, you know?
Right. And I was trying to stay on script with trying to go back. But go ahead. Let's start.
Okay, so now keep in mind, I just heard, you know, your what you relayed to me, and I think it's 100% accurate because of the very base level point that's being made here. So this is all my opinion, and if I had to, based on what you told me, put my finger on the moment where he was able to
flip the table.
Yes, and there wasn't a response that was really counterattacking him as effectively as we would have hoped, right? Where that moment happens, in my humble opinion and experience, is the exact moment where their bullshit causes us to reach some kind of like emotional apex, or not a peak like we're all emotional, but I just mean it's the frustration just reaches a certain level, and then out of our mouth comes something that he is then able to use that we aren't going to have as easy a time coming back with an effective counter for. And so my point is so critical here, is that in this instance, to me, when this happens to me, it is not the judge that is my primary opponent in that moment. In my head, he is a secondary opponent. My primary opponent is always me first, because these judges can't beat me. But I can beat myself. And so
I completely understand that.
When I look internally and I go, because every man does this, where did this go off the rails? Where exactly? Because at one moment I was doing well, and the next moment I wasn't. Where exactly is this flip made? This is like human nature 101, what we all do. It's when the emotions cause you to say something that is 100% true and deserved, justified, legitimate, 100%, but it comes across to the record and their imaginations of the public listening or anything on YouTube or social media as quote unquote argumentative. And it's I don't even know if they're wrong in that. And it's not that, you know, what is argumentative and what's not. I'm not trying to split hairs. All I'm saying is that, in my humble opinion and experience, it's that moment where the emotion, because of the justified frustration, caused you to say things that, if that frustration was not present at all, you would not have chosen to say. You would have chosen something else.
Yeah, I mean, the same premise applies to police when they fuck with you in public. They try to get you mad and upset.
Of course. I mean, this is their
it's
word
a tactic.
Triggering. They've invented this word triggering to make guns seem bad, but this is what they do. They just try to tempt you. Now, here's another example. A cop who really hates you, when they go to arrest you, well, yeah, they reach for your wrists, right, to just secure your wrists and behind your back and put on the cuffs. Well, when they reach for your wrists, if they take their index finger and their thumb and they pinch as hard as they can in that fleshy bit between your index finger and your thumb, there's a pressure point there where just a little bit of pressure can cause an extreme amount of pain. That's not expected, and so people flinch, and then bang, resisting arrest, now I can take you to the ground, and all that torture. This is embedded in their training, and as judges, it comes out in frustrate them, piss them off, you know, and the moment that we show them that has the tiniest bit of success, they know And the moment we show that that has absolutely zero effect, they know that too. I don't know if this is making anything clearer or more muddy for you. It's just the foot stomp I have for this entire issue.
No, I completely agree. I see it the same way. You know, it's everything's under violence, coercion, and threats. You know.
And so yeah, it's just like you said. It is funny too. It's like you said. It's just trying to articulate it, you know, in the most effective way. So you know, we can do whatever. I don't, like I said, I have no desire to go in any particular direction. I can just answer questions. This is all fun and entertaining for me, especially because I haven't done it in a while. Or I don't know if you have a recording or any other questions unrelated, or we can role play. Whatever you want to do is fine with me.
I do have the recording. You know, honestly, if you would, I'd like you to listen to it, just to get your take on it, so you can be like, all right, hey, this is where I think you fucked up. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And I can tell you through the audio of, you know, how I was feeling in the moment. You know what I mean? I can describe that during those instances.
Oh, perfect, man. It's always best when it's fresh.
Right, exactly. I mean, this literally happened at probably, I don't know, 4 hours ago.
Yeah. No, okay. Right. So.
Yeah,
that's cool.
How the hell would I get this audio?
You can either play it on a device and just put that next to your microphone, or if you're able, or it's on your desktop. I don't know what device you're using, but
I'm on my computer
Discord
right
has
now.
ways of integrating something like that. Boy, it's been a while.
Yeah,
share your screen. Not start an activity, but share your screen. Or I don't know if you can send me. I don't know how big of a file it is. I might be able to.
It's like 11 megabytes or something. It's not long. I trimmed it because most of it was just waiting and listening to other people like plead guilty or say like, oh, I got my taillight fixed or I got my license renewed and shit like that.
Is it just the audio or is it a black screen video included?
No, it's just strictly audio.
Well, shoot, just see if you can send it through here.
I'll just send it in the main chat if that's all right.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Let's see. Open.
It'll have if you said your name, number, and address, it'll have all that. Are you sure it doesn't have anything in it you don't want out there?
I mean, it just has my name.
That's fine.
Which I'm not worried about.
Yeah.
Like,
there's nobody out there in the world that's motivated enough to mess with somebody doing this for that reason.
No, I mean, I'm motivated enough to find out where people live and send them boxes of shit. Oh wait, did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
Damn, it's only a 10 megabyte upload limit, and mine's 11.2. I have to trim it just a little bit more. I'm gonna have to fucking transfer it from my phone again.
Oh, is that what it's on right now? Is your phone?
Yeah, actually, I'll just play it through the speaker. You know what? Just save a little bit of time
give it
for
a shot. You know, I'll just be like, oh, pause here for a second or whatever.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let me pull it up. Files. Audio. Audio cutter. There we go. All right. So this starts out with the officer telling his side of the story and whatnot.
Wait a minute. What do you mean? In what context?
His side of the events of
Is he on
how.
the stand testifying?
Yeah, he's next to me.
He had an officer start testifying in your case without putting him on the stand?
So the bench trial, we were both in front of the officer was next to me.
Yeah.
I was next to him.
Yeah.
Prosecutor was next to the officer, and we were facing the judge,
Holy
like 2 feet away.
shit. That's hilarious. So I've never heard of this happening before.
Yeah, and the officer gave his deposition of the events, and
Okay,
that's
so
where I started off at.
Let's clarify some background information before we begin here.
Absolutely.
These courts, as of, they've been all in Missouri. So according to what I've been seeing, it's been like the last 4 or 5 years. But anyway, in the last 4 or 5 years, American courtrooms have changed drastically in one regard. in an obvious counterattack to counter exactly what we're doing and what we bring to the table. They do no longer have you stand at the podium that's built into the courtroom, or at
there's
the
one next to 'em.
desk that's built right there into the courtroom, ready for you to sit at. Oh no. They want everybody to come within 2 feet of the judge, have the bailiff be right there in the gunning room, and the whole point of this, just to be clear for everybody, is to make it so that the people in the public can't hear what's going on. They know that we're comparing notes. They know that people are saying the most effective things, and everybody's going, "Oh my God, what's this all about?" Right? So, and not only that, and I don't know if this happened to you, but it happens every case that I'm seeing. They'll have the prosecutor sitting at the prosecutor's desk, calling up people, or maybe people that just saw the judge, and having loud conversations with them. I mean, the last several hearings I've had, I've actually had to argue with the judge for a few minutes about this setup, and letting everyone know and putting it on the record what this is, what it's designed to do, how this was never done just a few years ago, and everyone would be held in contempt if they started talking in the middle of the courtroom. Here I am with my freedom and money on the line, and I can't hear what you're saying. I'm 5 feet away because this guy's talking too loud 5 feet behind me, and you're going to tolerate this in open court? I mean, just stuff like that to let them know, I see your hustle, and I want everybody to know I'm calling it out for what it is. Now, when I do that, every single time I've done that, because it's impossible not to happen, of course I'm projecting my voice so that the entire room can hear. The guy that's farthest away from me in the corner can clearly hear me. And I might even be facing in their direction. And so that totally negates their advantage. And now everybody in the room is listening to this guy tell the judge to go fuck himself, because he is going to be talking to him loud enough for the public to hear, because he feels he needs the protection of the public hearing and listening to what's going on here, because of past abuses that this judge has inflicted upon me as the person defending myself in this case. I mean, in so many words, that's the message, right?
Absolutely.
I'm just letting you know this is an option. I personally have had a bunch to do it. I mean, man, I've just been chilling out and enjoying life. I tend to do that for a bit after I get done. But I've got recordings to publish too, and you will hear me do exactly this, right? So that's coming.
I'm looking forward to listening to them.
Yeah, I've got another court date on September 9th in a minor traffic case, so man, shit is about to come out. It's so awesome.
5 days.
I've got these guys so pinned. It doesn't do me any good to say it right now. I want to so bad to everybody, but it only works after the fact, so I'm having to wait till the charges get dismissed. But anyway, so that's on the 9th. But this is what can be done. Anytime I walk into a courtroom, right, I'm just like, okay, in what ways are they going to try to pull my man card? In what ways are they going to try to emasculate me, try to make this appear just psychologically with all the manipulation and deceit they do? And I just go, okay, what are they going to do? And I'm just ready. I'm just, hey, what? And, when I just got 2 tickets dismissed in Missouri. They were still trying to bullshit, but whatever, it didn't work. Well, now, this is the case. So, the reason why I'm taking so much time to rant and explain about this is just letting you know, in the future, this is an option, man. This is the tactic they're doing nationwide. If you should so decide it's best for you, can use this tactic to right from the jump, expose from the beginning. Hey, everybody. Now, it's a little bit awkward for some, right? Because here you are speaking so loud enough, everybody's eyes are going to be on you. And now you're not even really having an opportunity for softball, because here we are in hardball. I mean, the last 2 hearings, the judge, I straight up told him twice, you're going to have to threaten me with arrests if I don't move closer to you. Otherwise, I feel safest right here at the podium. I've had to say that. And he says, the last time he said, well, I'll tell you, you're getting real close to it. And I said, that's a good enough threat. And so I moved forward like 3 feet. Not where he wanted me, and turn my back to him.
Right.
So, I don't know if this is worth your time. I'm really trying to give you what's best for you and your time. But when you know what I mean?
If it wasn't worth my time, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Some people just don't listen to me, challenge me. By God, if you have something to say, interrupt me at any time. This
if
is
I
just
didn't,
hearing you and saying, I'm a man, I don't like them pulling this shit. I know what they're doing. I want them to know I know what they're doing. I want everybody in this room to know that I know exactly what they're doing, and I just completely negated its effect, because now everybody's attention's on me, and this lawyer just shut the fuck up, because they do. That was my whole, like, point of saying all that. was the end result, and I think anybody can get it. It's just something you have to confront from the beginning now, just like we had to adapt and be like, hey, can I get a recording of these proceedings? I just want to make an audio-only recording for my assistance of counsel. I'm shopping for a lawyer. They say they want this.
right.
You know what I mean? Just tactics. So that's all I've got.
Yep.
I'm all ears to listen now. I've done so much talking.
Yeah. Let me pull it up here. I gotta
Okay,
listen to my
cool.
phone real quick and see if it's even in the right spot.
Okay.
Give me just a second.
All right. By the way, that one's for you, Sam Cork. That's the name of one of my judges. He's the guy I'm constantly battling with over this. Oh no, they can talk as loud as they want. And make it impossible for anybody to hear what we're talking about. I talk in a whisper, so nobody can hear me. And you're talking in the opposite direction, so they can't hear you. People think we're dumb.
I think that's when I went to pay my fine. Yeah, I went to the bank and got change and paid my fine just because they pissed me off enough.
It doesn't matter. It's no, like, it's nothing. It's not like, well, I paid my bully. No, it's not. These people have guns, and they'll take you to jail. Like, it's no, you're doing the most effective resistance there is, and you can know that when you look in the mirror, because it's obvious that if everybody did this, they'd all be in prison, and there would be no nonviolent victimless criminal charges anywhere. So,
all right, I got it pulled up. I'm ready. You ready to listen to this?
Yep. Let's
all right, let me know if you can hear it well or not.
Okay.
Probably not.
Working seatbelt patrol that day, and that was at Mark Planet Berkeley at the stop sign facing east. He was
facing south.
and west, and he started traveling. He crossed path. I looked at him.
Okay, so let's pause right here.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to try to pause you a whole lot, right? But I just need some context set up.
Yeah.
And the reason why, and well, it's not that I don't understand the setup. I understand the setup in that what you just told me, but what I don't understand is, and where I think we should begin. See, here we are, way down the slippery slope, and we're already kind of in Fucksville, not Fucksville, but we're playing their match right now, and not ours, and that's the fact of it. And so what I'm wanting to get at is, hey man, let's go address where you were at the top of the slippery slope. I think that's where the learning happens, and we can talk about this. We can talk about this, and we want to, because you'll be here again, guaranteed. But man,
absolutely, I'll go again. I don't care.
Yeah, the gold is up at the slippery slope where he pissed you off and you got off track from going, do I have a right to be informed of the cause of nature?
Right. All right. Were you able to hear that at all?
Yeah, I mean it was soft, but I could hear it.
Okay, well, that's just the officer speaking. I don't know if his deposition's really like the most important.
It's not. It's just it was just funny to me, because I would be like, whoa, we're putting the cart before the horse. What, are you seriously trying to have this officer testify off the record, not on a witness stand? I'd like him to face penalties of perjury if he lies, please. They're trying to get his testimony in so he doesn't have to face that consequence. He can just lie without it even being on the record at all.
Right.
There's no chance
Absolutely.
You can file a formal complaint that says, I went to court. Here is the video, or here is my testimony. This man lied on the stand. If you can't say that, if he lied in court, it doesn't, and they know this. So this guy, I would never allow someone to be testifying unless they were sworn in on a witness stand. And I'm not even at that. At that point, there's a plea entered of not guilty, and we're at a trial. If a cop is talking about the details of what just happened, you are at a trial. They're treating you like you're at a trial. And by participating in it, the record reflects that you must be consenting to it, even though, obviously, before you said I'm under arrest. They just don't care about that. Again, we're here
Right.
to make a public record that is appealing to the members of the public. And again, it's not even the public, quote unquote, whatever that is, that you have to please. The only reason I say that is because that's what they hate. So whatever that cloud is that they hate, that's what I'm pointing at. A convincing and powerful verbal record that exposes to any neutral John Q taxpayer that judge is a domestic terrorist, and you are simply asking yes or no clarifications that he admitted you have the right to do and know.
Right. All right, I forwarded it up here a bit. This is where I start talking.
Cool. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Well, I came here with an unsigned plea of guilty, and I have every intention to sign it. I just need some clarification from prosecution. To make an informed and voluntary plea, the first thing I need to know is that do I have the right to a fair and meaningful hearing here today?
I don't think there's a thing wrong with that. I think that's just great, and I have really high standards. So, well done. Let's continue.
All right.
Do I have the right to be informed of the cause and nature of these accusations that are in proceedings that are here against me? Okay. Am I presumed innocent of every element of these allegations?
I can't hear him. You might have to fill in what he says, because I can't hear that.
Yeah, it's a little soft on his end because my phone was in my pocket. It was hidden under my shirt.
Yeah,
so
and they always talk quietly anyway. It's still awesome.
Right.
But yeah, just fill
So
in.
basically, when I asked him that third clarification, he said, "Well, this isn't a criminal matter. This is a civil matter." So that
Okay.
basically that nullified my clarification.
And what was your clarification?
If I had the right to, if I was presumed innocent of the allegations against me. And he said it was a criminal, or that only pertains to a criminal matter, and that this is a civil matter. And then I speak on, and I say, well, aren't these allegations? Are they not?
The difference is, can you go to prison? Can you go to jail? Does this charge come with any jail threat whatsoever? Because civil courts don't give out jail time. You can't go to jail for being sued in a civil court. And so that's the trick he pulled. It was complete bullshit. I've never heard a judge say that before.
Yeah, 100% on the third one.
That's a complete bald-faced lie, and they don't care if they're saying lies. They only care about if it works and you shut up and just continue down the slippery slope. That's all he's trying to do, is just push you down the slippery slope. So it's just something to know, something to learn, right? Something to be heads up. Gosh, I've never even role-played that before. I've never had them be so ridiculous as to say that. Go ahead.
It threw me for a loop, and I didn't know where to go from there.
Yeah,
honestly, that's where I got fucked up. It's like the only thing I could come back with him was, hey, I thought I was here to have a fair and meaningful hearing.
Okay, that lets him know that you don't know that is the key difference between civil and criminal, the jail element. And it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal, right? But now,
yeah, it's my first time.
It's your first time. Just keep in mind, like, now he knows. So if I were to hear a judge say that to me, my first reaction would be to bend over at the waist and to try and hide my laughter. I'm dead serious. I've just been threatened big time, 6 times last time and 4 times the time before that, primarily because, and you'll hear this on the record, acting like animated and trying not to laugh. I'm putting on a show for these people, right? So anyway, the point is, not to get... So I'll pretend to laugh, and then I'll say, did you just, on the record, claim that this is a civil proceeding? There must not be any jail threat here whatsoever. Is that correct? Is that what you're claiming here on the record? Do you think I'm stupid? I mean, now, that is not the best way to handle it, because that's a little emotional. But I'm just telling you background, because I want you to be able to draw upon, what you want to. But that's the difference I'd ask him. Civil court is where you just get sued by a third party. Is the government suing you civilly?
It was the state of Indiana versus myself.
Okay, so this fictional entity that licenses all the lawyers and the judge and pays them is what they're claiming is suing you in a civil court. This is a civil court. Is that the claim here? How exactly are you defining this court? Are you a judge or a magistrate? I mean, these are all the things you can draw upon when they say something so ridiculous. And you know it's ridiculous. If you've never heard anybody who does this type of stuff in courtrooms ever mention it, like it was just completely out of the blue, then that's something we've never heard before, ever. So, did I cover that well enough? I don't know. Sometimes I beat a dead horse.
No, I think so. I understand your point.
Okay, yeah.
You know,
I'll just be
you
laughing.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't know what to do. Like,
Yeah, I know.
I was like, okay, what?
Yeah.
I ain't never heard that before.
Right. So it's my
Like,
job to ask questions and be like, hey, could you do this? And if so, man, now you have that option if you should choose to use it in the future.
I didn't know how to follow it up. But
Yeah.
anyway, I'll play the rest, and you can hear throughout the thing, like, I don't get emotional, I don't get loud.
That's great. Yeah, you sound
None of
pretty
that.
chill. You sound, as far as the average guy that calls me and I talk to, yeah, way chill. It's good. It's a real advantage.
Well, here we go.
All right.
These are still allegations that I know of. Would I have do I have a right to fair and meaningful hearing? Or do I have a right to a fair?
That's okay.
I just want to know if I have a right to a fair and meaningful hearing. I have clarifications. So you're gonna railroad me?
Right there, he
It's
said.
over there. Yeah.
Right there, he
Okay,
said.
nice
So
guess.
the court finds you, or finds the proceedings in the favor of the state, and so that's when I called him out and said, "Oh, so you're going to railroad me?" And
Okay,
then
yeah, he considers this well down the path of trial. And
Yeah,
that's where
and-
he is. That's the notes he's taking. That's the record he's making. And when anybody looks it up in the future, it'll say that you pled guilty, that you went through a trial, and that you lost.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
So basically, he put a plea in on my behalf.
Right.
But
Well, if
I paid the fine, so ultimately, yeah, did I plead guilty in their eyes? Yeah, I did, because I paid the money.
I'm curious what they would say if you asked them a question, even if you had no intention of following through. I'm just curious what their answer would be. If you would ask them, I want to appeal this decision, and the only reason why I paid the money is out of fear of the judge, because he had a bailiff standing within 3 feet of me. There were 5 cops in the room.
There absolutely were 5 cops, too.
Yeah, I barely started to ask a clarification of the charge and nature of the proceedings against me by asking if I had a right to a fair and meaningful hearing. And he had a cop testifying without being sworn in on the stand. He then tried to push me through as if this was a trial without telling me it was a trial. I haven't even entered a plea yet. I've given a full intention to plead guilty. I bet if you check the record right now, it's going to say not guilty. Here's a recording of what I actually said. You don't even have to believe me. So I'd like to appeal this. I'd really like to hear their. They wouldn't be able to give you the person that you asked. They wouldn't be able to give you an answer. They'd have to. I have to go talk to somebody and give you an answer on that one. Or they'd say, go call a lawyer and fuck off.
Right.
But there is a process by which you can appeal, even traffic, and they have paperwork to do exactly that. If it's not in the courthouse, it might be online. But the fact that they have paperwork means they can't tell you to fuck off. And you will have a new judge. And you will be able to, and I'm not suggesting you do this, only if you're super bored, right? And we're so inclined. But one could, like, go to that new judge and be like, here's all the shit the other judge did. I think this is worthy of grounds of appeal. Let's have a new hearing with a different judge. Because I've never heard of anybody paying the fine and then appealing and claiming duress and threat and guns and jails and all that while putting it out on social media. I've never even heard of such a thing. but don't really. I mean, man, this is such small potatoes, and if it's at all going to cost you like time and money because you're not working or something,
I had to call off today to go to work.
Yeah, dude, just do whatever's best for you, you know, because that's what they're like, why do you keep having to miss work because of one traffic case? You know what I mean? They're going to think you're in there for something more serious.
Right.
So, but it's just lessons learned or whatever. But, man, and I'll tell you, so the two things. One is you were playing ball in what they considered to be a trial, and you didn't know it. Or maybe you did know it, but just didn't know how to get yourself back to the starting point, right?
I think that's what it was, is I didn't know how to get back to
Right.
compose myself and say, hey, look, this is where we're at, and this is what I need to know.
So let me.
He just wanted to say, I wanted to say I was arguing, and
Yep.
he said if you keep arguing, I'm going to hold you in contempt of court.
And this is why, whenever they say that word argument, I mean, Judge, I have no idea why you're saying that I'm arguing when I'm telling you in the beginning, and I'm telling you again right now. You will never hear me make a single claim to argue once during this entire procedure. I will not assume the burden of proof. That's why I'm not ever going to make a claim or an argument. Please stop accusing me of doing something I'm not doing. What I am doing is clarifying if I have the right to be informed of the cause and nature of the charges of proceedings against me, has the prosecutor provided any faction. Now, I'm just randomly tossing something out there. I'm not saying say exactly that in that situation. Again, it's just material for you to draw upon.
Right.
That's how I would address it. So there was that. So in my materials, right, and Gary started this, there are 3 main counter tactics that we always want fresh in our mind and memorized, so that they are precisely designed to counter exactly if we have a moment where we get flustered. Yeah, you get flustered, you don't know what to say. Bang, these 3 things need to come to mind. Do you remember what they were? It's not a big deal if you don't.
You're talking about the segues, right?
Yes.
Yes, so isn't it you go back to, you said I have a right to a fair and meaningful hearing, and we're not making progress here.
Okay,
does that still stand?
Fair and meaningful hearing is many of the tactics that we use where we lay a trap and then we spring it. Earlier you admitted I had a right to a fair and meaningful hearing is springing a trap, but it's not one of the 3. Now these are all traps. These are all
the
traps.
gun in the room?
Yes, the gun in the room is one of the segues.
Intention to plead guilty.
Intention to plead guilty is one of the segues, and that's the one I feel you could have used pulled out, because he was when he.
And I did think about that after everything happened. Was that I was like, man, I should have used the segue. Hey, look, I told you I was here to plead guilty. I just need to be, fully informed about these natures and the cause and natures of the accusations.
100%.
Right, exactly. I thought about that once I got out of the courtroom and everything, and I was kind of flustered. I was like, man, I probably should have said that. That probably would have been my best thing.
So that's what they're for.
I really did.
I believe you. And so
and what's the other one? The failure to provide factual evidence?
It's the prosecutor's failure to file a proper case and specifically answer the question, yes or no, has documentation passed? Not what is it, not what does it say,
has it been handed from here to here?
Yes, the act of transmission from point A to point B, has that occurred yet? Nothing else. And so you'll find that just about anything under the sun a judge could say, or in coordination with a prosecutor and a bailiff, a tag team, I don't give a crap, bring them all in. Anything they can say against you can be countered with one of these 3. The gun in the room will be the one probably used the most. But yeah, anytime they're trying to pretend like this is a trial, got a cop testifying, we're way beyond are you pleading guilty or not guilty. Then
they just had to stand in front of him and he said, raise your hand and all that shit.
Why are you having a police testify as if we're at trial when I told you I fully intend to plead guilty and I brought an unsigned plea of guilt with me to sign? Are you attempting to... What you have on the record is entered as my plea right now. Now see, these questions would be using that tactic, the segue, the intention to plead guilty. It specifically counters their attempt to do what they were exactly doing to you, which was move you past the plea.
Right.
To any degree whatsoever. I just wanted to foot stomp that because in the future, you don't have to get stuck because you have this counterattack in your head. I'm telling you, this is foundationally what is the most effective thing to say in that situation. And I rarely claim that confidently. I claim that now about that.
Well, you learned something new.
Yeah, that was the whole point, man. And like you already said, the gun in the room, that's always another one. And the failure to file a proper case, man. If these are just right there, then really what I used to tell people is, okay, bang, judge says something and you're stumped. And maybe you're scared or maybe you're pissed. We know this is very likely to happen, so let's make a game plan automatic tactic right now in response to it so you don't have to stumble for one in the moment. That tactic is Judge, I'm here without the assistance of counsel. May I have a few moments to collect my thoughts before I respond? I've never seen a judge say, no, you must respond now.
And further on in there, like, I think I'll trim this just a little more so I can upload it and you can listen to it if you want.
Yeah.
But he says in there that the only way I could have a fair and meaningful trial is if I testify my story to him.
And he wants you to do that right now, obviously, to help pretend like this is a trial.
Right.
So,
and
are you asking me what
I
you
just said,
would say?
I just looked at him, I didn't say nothing, and I said, am I free to leave? And he said, yeah. And I said, okay.
That's funny. Because you would have enough. And see that.
Yep, I said, am I free to leave? And he said, yes. And I said, how much is the fucking ticket? He said $25, and I grabbed it and fucking just walked out the courtroom.
Okay, this is powerful stuff. That's funny.
Yeah, it's literally, that's all I said to him. Like, I had enough. I was frustrated. I didn't know where to go. You know, like I got stumped. I didn't know where to go from there. So that's the only thing I could think of was he said, I'm going to give you contempt. And I was like, well, the only thing I know to say is, am I free to speak? Or, you know, he just said, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to get out of this courtroom just before that. So I said, am I free to leave? Because he told me to get out, so obviously I'm free to leave. I got to ask.
Right. See, you really want to burn him? You put this out, and
okay.
I'll post it. I'll post it and send his office the email link. I mean,
I'm absolutely game.
You don't want him. See, he does not want. They're acting as if nothing is being recorded. He has no idea you're recording it. If it was just great, because if he did, he wouldn't be this abusive. Great, we get to see him be this ridiculous.
That's why I wore what I wore, so I could do what I did.
There's that too. So, I mean, I'm about to do all this stuff myself. It's funny, I got cases going on myself. But yeah, so there's always that option. Let's see, what was there another point I was gonna make? Recording.
And I found the judicial complaint form for my state and all that other good stuff as well.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that too in tandem.
Yeah,
I've done several with mine, and there you haven't responded.
Yeah, I know. That's where I got that from.
Yeah, okay, cool.
From you. Like I said, I've listened to pretty much everything you've got, and it's like I know these things. I've just never had to practice.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Until now.
Oh. Let me tell you this then too. Okay. So just hearing your recording, right? If someone said, hey, Joe, I want you to make a bet, I'm going to pay for it. I want you to give me one tactic, and this is a whole hypothetical scenario where everybody has God power, okay? Give me one tactic where I can only use the one tactic, and it will improve what happens there to me and for me the most out of anything else you could possibly think of. Bet on what you think, and we'll see if you win the bet, right? If I had that big of a bet, I would bet on this. I would say, if I were you, I would have this script, just really the first 5, even not even the whole 7 or 9, depending on which one you use.
I was going for the 7.
The 7, cool. Memorize so cold that when it comes out of your face, it is apparent to everyone in the room that you have these lines down like the back of your hand. Because what that says is so much more than what you actually say. If you have this shit memorized to the back of your hand, you are not just somebody coming in here stumbling over something you saw on the internet. This is not the first time this has happened to you. You have done this so many times before. Like, anxiety comes.
Second nature.
Yes, anxiety comes, and all the fear that they get to take advantage of in people, it comes from people feeling like they're not prepared for the threat against them. That is human nature. It's natural. It's fine. Great. So they rely on this. Anybody who goes in there and has 0 of this anxiety, they never see that. They never see that. And what it says is, I've been here a million times before. There's nothing you could say that could intimidate me or scare me. And you're about to learn. Every time you try one of your bullshit manipulative tactics, you're going to find out real quick. This kid must have heard this 24 times before. And he's probably been advised on the ideal response to come back with. And oh shit, a little time goes by and I am getting burned. And so that's when they go a few different ways, but if they live in a good old boy network way, it's going to be steamroll. It's going to be...
and that's absolutely what happened.
Yeah. And you'll get confident.
And I called him out for it. You know?
It'll be even a more effective steamroll. What I mean by this, what I mean is, see, you got steamrolled with words. I'm talking about a steamroll with them pretending like you're not even in the room and that you didn't even say anything.
Okay, I understand.
Because they're so, it's the words have such power, they can't even acknowledge that you spoke. And they have to make it so nobody's recording, and everybody else is out of the room. They've dealt with everybody's case last, so even though your name is on the front of the line, you're last. Right? So, and this all just comes from having that rock solid opening introduction. Good morning. I have every intention to plead guilty here today. In fact, I brought an unsigned plea of guilty. It's right here in my hand. The only thing I have is a few clarifications for the prosecutor before I sign it, pay a fine, and leave it out of here, no problem. For you, Judge, though, I haven't been here before. I'm new to all this. In this courtroom, do I have a right to a fair and meaningful hearing in this courtroom? Boy, they just love to be like, of course, I'm a good guy, of course. Oh, outstanding. Man, I'm happy to hear that one. Do I have a right to be informed of the cause and nature of the charges and proceedings like it says in the Fifth Amendment? Or you don't even say that part.
Most state constitutions.
Bill of Rights. You know. Oh, of course it does. Yes, I obey the Bill of Rights. Of course I do. Why would it be? This is silly. Come on.
Now, let me question you this.
Yeah, go ahead.
In the state of Indiana, within the Constitution of Indiana, they have a section, blah blah blah, article, whatever. But basically, it says in any civil case that you should not be deprived of a jury trial. Is that something I could have pressed if I really wanted to, and if I got that far?
Yeah, this is something I have exactly myself had to do in not one but both of my cases. This is a standard tactic that they do. Is they don't even bring up the option. They're not even bringing up the option anymore of the plea. They're not even bringing up the option anymore of, do you have a lawyer settled? Who's your assistance of counsel? They're not bringing up the option anymore of if you want a bench trial or a jury. They're just not bringing them up. And then they're saying, shut up, or you're going to be held in contempt. We are here to talk about this issue and no other issue. If you say anything else, I'm going to hold you in contempt. And so you go silent. And then they ask you a question. Okay, so you ready to accept this? And you're like, is it safe to speak? And they roll your eyes at you as if you did something wrong. So this is just where this eventually goes. Again, just more and more background information.
Gotcha.
Did I answer your question? I don't remember if I got
No, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't make it that far, so that was something I had in my back pocket in case I had to do it. I was aware and I knew about it, and I had it wrote down in my notes that, if I really have to, I guess I'll try.
Yeah. So... Go ahead. Well, I'm just going on.
No, you go ahead. No. I thought you said also, so I thought you had something else to follow up with there.
Oh no, I was making sure I answered your question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I'll rant and ramble if you let me. I tell people to cut me off, and they don't all the time.
No,
I'll get excited.
Try to be polite and all that other thing.
Yeah, and I try to tell people there's no such thing as being impolite to me. It's impossible for even my enemies to offend me, so it's impossible for my friends to.
Look what you do for fun.
What do I do for fun?
No, I said look at what you do for fun. Just kind of poking. You go to court and challenge others.
Yeah.
So how are you supposed to get offended when they can't even offend you?
Yeah. So really, that's what. Gosh, I'm just thinking to myself, hey man, you've only got limited precious moments with all these people you talk to. Make it count. And again,
make it count.
All I can tell you is if you have those stuff cold, it communicates so much more, and I think that they go a lot easier on you. Maybe I told you they might just ghost you entirely, but if they don't do that, then usually they're just a bit easier on you when you have that stuff memorized cold. And then that moment where you said, "Oh, so you're just going to railroad me?" That was I play chess, right? You can play a perfect
Right.
chess game, a perfect fucking chess game. You make one move that looks innocent.
That was an
And it's
emotional
like,
response.
No, dude, you don't realize that pawn was protecting the light square bishop infiltrating into your shit. And you don't have a light square bishop, so now it's queen time or you're fucked. Like, that's what I mean. You can make one move like that, and now it's, oh, shit. It turns everything. So, if that moment of frustration comes, man, you'll hear me, mockery. I try to turn to mockery, comedy, anytime, any frustration whatsoever is my opponent number one, not the judge. That's how I make this priority. And it's not easy, but I find that when I am free of that emotional pull, or I recognize it and I'm able to do something about it, and realize, in the heat of the moment, I realize he's trying to trigger me. Why would I play into his hand? That's what it is. So you maintain your cool, and you laugh, and you call it out. And if you get to call out him attempting to piss you off, then that's what you got to do too. Like I had a judge. Oh, okay, trial's July 16th at 9:30. No, judge, I already have a trial scheduled there. Same day, different courthouse, 1:30. Trial's going to be July 16th at 9:30. No, you didn't hear me. I have the same trial the same day. We're going to schedule it for the 16th. With a smile, he said this to me.
Yeah, I remember listening to that.
Yeah, so
it was like, you got to be kidding me. That's gnarly.
Yeah, and so, man, believe you me, I was tempted. But what works? To just laugh. Oh, great, that's awesome. I can't believe you're doing that. I'm going to have all kinds of fun bringing this to these people's attention. And what happened? I showed up for an hour, 15 minutes. I had to leave to go to my next one. He said I could leave with my freedom and then charged me with a bench warrant. Not allowing me assistance of counsel, not allowing me to plead guilty, and not allowing me a jury. On all three accounts, while emptying the courtroom and not allowing me to record and saying there would be no recording made by the court. All of this happened. It was something out of the 1984 book, dude. It was crazy. I really legitimately started to get creeped out like I'd never experienced before. I'm like, I've never had all of these abuses of power at the same time. This is kind of freaking me out, and I'm going to leave.
It's a lot to take in.
Yeah, I don't know if they've got some game plan to arrest me from this.
Right.
And then set the bail at 10,000 or whatever. And now I'm going to tell them to go fuck themselves. I'm not giving you 10K, So that was the moment. You laugh. I can't believe it. That's all I'm trying to convey. The two things based on this conversation for you would be have it cold hard memorized and recognize that any emotional frustration is your opponent number one over the judge, and then to have that awareness of at what stage are they treating this process is in right now. And get it back to the top of the slippery slope, which is the plea being not guilty or guilty.
Gotcha.
I'm all gassed out. I think I've talked myself out. Thank God, right? Because I'm tired of hearing my own self-talk quite a bit. So if you got anything else, I'm all ears or whatever you got going on, man. I'm glad.
Really, the only thing I got, I trimmed up that audio file so that you could listen to it, and
okay, cool.
I'm cool with if you want to follow up on my behalf to them or whatnot, we can work that out.
Yeah, I'll say.
Like I'm all for it.
Cool. I'll it really takes nothing from me. Just do some research.
What do I need?
And get the email address that you want me to send it to.
Okay.
And you've got me on Discord, obviously, so just send me that. And I'll take the audio file. I have Camtasia, I have OBS, I have all of this again. I have a brand new computer. I am running two computers at the same time. And I just click a button.
You might be able to bump up the audio so you can hear the judge.
Yeah, I can do all of that. I know how to do all that stuff. So, yeah, that's great. And then, but, fair warning, you can never say you're not warned by me. Okay. I have to act like you're jumping out of the plane and the parachute isn't going to open. So here's your fair no parachute warning. Anytime anybody does this, you just are running the 1 in a million dice that you live with a bunch of psychos, and this judge is going to be like, holy shit, what this guy's trying to expose me, and now you're going to have cops parked outside your house or where you work or wherever, and they know what your car looks like, they know you're you, and they're just, I've known multiple people where this was their reality. And they're just
completely
a chicken
understand.
game. They're trying to live their lives without being pulled over for a traffic infraction. So heads up.
Yeah, that whole traffic stop was. I wish I would have had something to record that, but in the moment, I didn't have any dash cams or nothing. I didn't turn on my cell phone. I had my daughter with me, so I was kind of preoccupied trying to keep her calm because the officer was loud and getting mean and whatnot, and it was upsetting her because she's younger and she's a little more susceptible or feels emotion a lot more than other people. And yeah, I wish I would have had that recorded because that was some good shit.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. I mean, you just
and they didn't want to give up the body camera footage or anything of that nature. Like they wanted to charge me $150 for it and all that shit. And I told them, get fucked.
That's something you can fight too. They're gonna be like, oh, well, then you have to sign this, give us all your information, financials, to prove you're just poor broke bum, and then we'll give it to you for free. It's like, you guys have taxes, charging me for this is ridiculous, blah, 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 blah. It goes on.
I tried to argue with them. There was a clause in their form you had to sign that said they may charge up to $150, and I said, hey, the word may in legality isn't in the legal world doesn't mean it doesn't mean it's factual or it's set. I said it's up for interpretation and negotiation as far as I'm concerned. So I'll give you $5.
Yeah, it's not binding is the word. Neither is shall. Yeah. The only word that is binding is must.
Must. Yeah.
Anyway.
And they didn't have that word in there, so I was like, it was worth a shot.
Well, I mean, I can tell you how this is going to go down. Like, all of these, you're throwing a wrench. They're gonna have their little slick response, and then the result is gonna be that they get their way. And the only way to not have that happen is to go 100% full board, all out from all directions, and don't do that. Not over a traffic ticket. I'm doing it, but only because I'm facing a dog attack and a traffic ticket. So you'll get to see how this goes down with me doing it over the next little bitty. But
I'll be keeping up on that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be messing up with it if I were you, because you got a kid and a job. Heck no.
Right. I gotta protect myself the best I can.
The only reason why I can do this is because my child is grown. I could never do it. Man, oh man, I will put a bullet in a cop's face. He puts his hand on my daughter wrong. I just couldn't do it like that. I couldn't have a child like it. I'm just not. Oh, that would just piss me off too much. I'm probably gonna delete that part out.
Yeah, go edit what you need to.
Yeah, but yeah, I've imagined cops actually getting, pulling over a traffic ticket and getting handsy with your family. Like, that wouldn't go well for them.
Yeah,
anyway.
he wanted to. I could tell.
That's the ultimate trigger. There's nothing more emasculating than that. All of this is an emasculation tactic. That's all it is. And you just imagine you're on the street and anybody off the street attempts to do to you what this judge and this cop are doing. What's going to happen? Not what happened in that courtroom. That's not going to happen. Nope. There's going to be some challenging and contesting of what's going on here.
Yeah, I followed up with a complaint against him and all that other stuff. Just it was a shit show, that whole stop. I can explain that to you if you want me to, just so you can hear it.
It really wouldn't even. I've heard it a million times before. I don't even want to hear it.
Oh, sure, absolutely. No, I just thought I'd offer. We was talking about this whole situation, so.
Yeah, I mean, I could be a cop, I could be a prosecutor, I could be a judge, and it's not because I'm special. Like, anybody who really kind of knows is familiar. As far as the talkity stuff, I'm not saying I could be a cop and go assault a house that needed to be assaulted or anything. I'm just saying, as far as what they do with words, yeah, dude, it's just to have in your back pocket, to know the knowledge. You learned, hey, if I were ever to do this again in the future, I could have these tactics. If I were so inclined, I could appeal in this way. If I come across a situation on the street or in the car, I have these. And that's really all that really is the most advantageous stuff to have, is arm yourself with what you can say to protect you and your family. That's exactly what you're doing. That's exactly what I would be doing in your situation. Like,
right.
You're winning in every which way you can. I mean, it's no loss.
That's the only way to do it, in my opinion. Yeah. You got to try and win.
Right, and that's all. See, what you did is all. Like, if anybody really, my thoughts when nobody's around are like, God, just try it and then pay them. That's all. That's all anybody can ask of anybody, and it might even be asking too much to have them to try, because it can, But cave, don't get in danger. Cave as soon as they threaten you, but just try. If everybody just tried, nobody has to deal with this anymore. If just 10% of the population tried, nobody would have to deal with this anymore. That would completely flood their... Anyway, I'll get off my high horse. This is just old news, and I've already had this conversation a million times. That's why I'm so excited. So, I don't know, chill, and glad to have you call and bring this up.
Dude, I appreciate your time. Like, I really do. 100%. And I appreciate all the content you've put out for everyone to see over the years. Like I said, I've watched damn near every video. I try to internalize it and understand as much as I can to get to a point to where I can defend myself and that nobody is going to push me around. Because that's ultimately how you got to live your life as a man, in my opinion. You can't just let people walk all over you.
Yes! We're just dealing with bullies. That's all it is, like any playground.
100%.
It's just a bully. So, yeah, man, that's all it is. I wish that everybody, I wish everybody's version of manhood had at least that, man. There just needs to be certain lines. Can somebody reach into your back pocket and steal your money and then bullshit you while they do it? And you're gonna sit there and not say anything, which means that I'm just gonna let your lie slide because I don't have the power to challenge your theft and reach into my back pocket right now. Men cannot allow another man to reach into your back pocket, steal from you, and say, I'm serving your best interest. What?
It's counterintuitive.
What? Yeah, you're insulting my intelligence. You clearly think I'm one of these human beings with balls instead of a man. You think I'm just gonna... So, okay, go ahead and try. Okay, you tried. And here's what I do. And lucky for us, we are the first generation, lucky for us, that we get to fight with words. We don't have to languish in prison or raise an army. Lucky us. So yeah, man, that's it. I'm just happy. I'm glad to hear another guy out there. It's always a trip when I hear people listen to my stuff. It's just it's an unnatural phenomenon, man, to post things on a thing and people read all this and know all this, and you never talked to them before, and it's just... Okay, I'll shut up.
Surreal.
I'll just never quit tripping out about how awesome it is.
No, I understand.
In this line of work, it's just... There are people who just died and rotted in prison for hundreds of years who would have given anything for this opportunity. And I'm just trying to honor them by it. It's like, here we go. We got recording technology. We got AI. We got God. We got YouTube and social media. Like, let's use it. And that's all you're doing, man. And that's all I think any man needs to do to qualify. You resist, you got a life, you're not going to raise hell over a traffic ticket. Perfect. Done. If you shoot a dog that damn near grabs your leg and they come after you, I'm going to say, dude, you can't just pay that. You can't just pay that one. Anyway, I'm done. I just love this topic so much. God, I just got so much passion for it. I don't know what to do.
I can't remember, I'm sort of the same way in a manner that the use of government at this point in life it's null and void to me. What's the point of it?
It's just 100% does nothing productive whatsoever.
No, the only way they function is through coercion, stealing, and lies.
Yeah.
And
that's on the local level. On the big level, it's just like, it's not only that they're taking your money and then spending it frivolously, or wasting it, or attempting to help you and provide services, but they just fuck it up. No, they take the money and they actively give it to your enemies. And they use it against the society and the culture in the most heinous way they can.
Let's not talk about what they're doing with the actual people are actually doing to our money as well.
Yeah,
That's a whole other subject.
And I just, it'd just be nice. It sucks to have to be a person who's like, look, man, nobody wants to be the messenger that's like, government is that evil. That is the reality we all live in. I wish it wasn't.
I've been telling people for years. I've been telling them for years, and they don't want to listen. I still try.
But it just is, and it's not painful. Just rip the Band-Aid off all at once. You'll get over it. I promise. It's just not that bad. That is the Matrix movie. That is the documentary that is that movie. Do you want to live knowing the truth of what's going on in that courtroom, or do you want to pay the fine and leave with your freedom, enjoy your comforts in silence? Every man has a choice to make, and you make yours. And I'm just happy when I come across a man like that. They're about 1 in 10.
So they're far and few between, that's for sure.
Yeah, so don't, when you think of thanking me, thank yourself. If there ain't a mirror inside you to reflect any light off of, nothing happens and it passes right through.
That's deep.
I'm sure I got it from somewhere. I'm a dork like that. I don't know. It's nothing deep. It's a dorky thing that's supposed to sound deep but doesn't. It's just an analogy. I'm trying to point it to something inside the people. Because I can tell everybody it doesn't do a goddamn thing unless they are wired a certain way. That's what I refer to it as. Certain people are wired a certain way. Like, they can't be any other way if you put a gun to their head.
Right. And that's really all I got, man.
Yeah, me too. We're at an hour and 11. We can't go on forever.
No, I understand. I do appreciate your time, everything you do, everything you've put out. I really do.
Thank you for the thank you. I can't even say you're welcome. It's just, thanks Socrates, dude. I ain't doing nothing without this old fuck named Socrates from 2,600 years ago. You have a good day, doctor.
Oh, you can call me Zach.
Zach. All right, Zach, I'm Joe. You have a good one, man. And send me
Joe,
that stuff.
you have a good day.
We'll roast that judge with your recording.
Yes, you're looking for the prosecution office for the county?
I'm looking for the court, what's the name? The court, what's the name of court reporter? The number one hand assistant to the judge is a court reporter. It's a gatekeeper. It might have a different term with different courthouses, but just call them up and be like, hey, I want to send a direct communication to the judge in this case because I'm going to be appealing it. So I want to address it to the court reporter or whoever is the gatekeeper for that judge in that chambers, in that office.
Okay. Yeah, because all I'm finding, I'll look a little harder here, but I just ran across some prosecution office for the court I was in, and then they got administration office and all that stuff. But okay, I'll keep looking.
It's not the prosecutor's office at all. And then whatever they tell you, verify it online, and they should have this information published online or public somewhere. This is not top secret information. Anybody should be able to send and file a motion to the judge himself, him or herself, and that happens through, at the courthouse and through their gatekeeper, the court reporter. And they stamp and they stamp this motherfucker and give you a copy or the original to show I was here on this date at this time, and they received this and they acknowledged it as legitimate and accepted it. This is the receipt.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what's up. And then we take it to the court of public opinion. And we post it. I send this to him and say, hey, I was in your courthouse and recorded you abusing the hell out of this particular person. And check it out. I bet you thought nothing was being recorded at all. But I mean, I'll say this. I tell AI what I want to communicate, and then I say, make it in lawyer speak. And it does, and it gets me about 90% of the way there. And then I just tweak the final thing.
Yeah, fine-tune it. Proofread.
And it's great, yeah. So I'll do that, and I'll let them know. And I'll here's the link. Click here, bitch. And then
I appreciate that.
The title of the video is Judge, first name, last name, from X courthouse in X county, state. Anybody that does a search for this guy is going to come up with this video.
That's good.
And I'll tell him that. So it's just to mess with him. And you're the first to do it, son. Congratulations.
I'm sure I am. Because I've heard a few things about this judge, and I know a few people that have sold him drugs.
God. They're getting busted left and right. One was just running a a freak, like, what do you call it? Swinger party. His own deputy shot and killed him in his chambers. Judges are getting shot. Judges are getting exposed. There's pedophiles that have been sheriffs for 26 years. Like the AI and the transparency and the accountability. When they were committing all these acts, they had no idea what would be invented. Well, now it's been invented, and it's now dirt cheap to connect all these dots, and they still haven't even begun to begin this process. And man, I'm telling you, like, every last one of these guys is nothing more than a legalized mob boss. And that's how they act, and that's how they talk when they're in their chambers. And there's supposed to be a separation between the prosecutor and the judge and the cops, and there's none whatsoever. And they stopped even pretending to be one because nobody ever brings it up that, yo, this is de facto ex parte communication. They don't care. It just gets better and better for us, dude. It is getting better and better for us every single day because Elon bought Twitter. And Trump won, which means AI for the next little bitty is going in the direction of people with some ethics instead of the deep state. All right, now I'm really ranting. I'm sorry. All right, I really got to shut up. Thank you for your thank yous. I really appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. I really do. Is there any way I need to compensate you for doing this on my behalf?
No, compensated me. What you can do, let's see, let me think. Who would I want the money sent to? Go, let's see, let me think, give me a second. Send some money. Let's see, how? No, I need time to think about that.
Sure, I mean, I'm up for options, man. I deal with fiat, I deal with silver, I deal in crypto, I do it all.
No, all I'm telling you is I was thinking of like some site or a content creator that for X amount of money per month they'll let you in on a little club or whatever, but I can't really. And then I was thinking of pranks I could pull. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You'll get me with the video if I think of something, anything, I'll let you know. But I don't.
Absolutely. Just
I don't accept money because then I accept a burden, and I can't stand to have the burden. So.
I understand completely. I get it. I just thought I'd throw the gesture out there.
I appreciate it. It's something I would say too. It's a gesture that counts. I thank you for it.
No, I think that's all I got, man. I appreciate your time.
Me too. Zach, you have a good day, man. I'll talk to you later.
You too, Joe.
All right.
We'll see you.
See you.